Mark Steyn is a right-winger. He goes on Fox News all the time. Likes to go on Tucker Carlson's program, which has become a hub, a base, a camp, if you will, perhaps an Al-Qaeda of white supremacy. Now, I think the word white supremacy is a little overused. I've talked about that on the show before. In this case, it is not. It is literal. So let me show you what Mark Steyn said and then explain the context. Let's watch.
There was a French novel published 45 years ago by Jean Raspail, The Camp of the Saints. A lot of people on the left don't like it, but it actually predicted what's happening before our eyes.
So he's saying that The Camp of the Saints is a good book that predicted what's happening, but the left doesn't like it, but it's real. All right, well, let's find out what The Camp of the Saints is. So Southern Poverty Law Center has read it. They say it is the favorite racist fantasy of the anti-immigrant movement in the US. Now, the job of the Southern Poverty Law Center is to track hate groups. They also explain that it is revered by American white supremacists. Now, okay, these guys have been doing it for a long time. They track these groups, but now the right wing, since they are white supremacists in a lot of ways, not all of them obviously, but certainly Mark Steyn is, and apparently Tucker Carlson is, and they talk about this all the time. Steve Bannon talks about Camp of the Saints nonstop. And so since they are racist, they go, no, Southern Poverty Law Center tracking racists, it doesn't count. Well, okay, then let's go to Linda Chavez. Now, Linda Chavez worked for Ronald Reagan in his cabinet and George W. Bush in his cabinet. She's a revered, significant right-winger. She said that the book is really shockingly racist. Okay, fine, you don't even want to trust any other Republicans or right-wingers. Let's go to the book itself. On the cover of the book, in the English translation, it explains that it is, quote, a chilling novel about the end of the white world. Now that's on the cover of the book. They're bragging about it. Oh, the immigrants are gonna end the white world. Oh, wait. I'm gonna quote the book for you guys. I have a clear sense of what these guys are such big fans of. First, we go to an explanation by HuffPost. The plot of The Camp of the Saints follows a poor Indian demagogue named the Turd Eater. You didn't see that wrong, because he literally eats crap, and the deformed, apparently psychic child who sits on his shoulders. Okay, so the leader of the immigrants eats crap and is called the Turd Eater. Okay, we're just warming up. Well, what happens with them? Together, they lead an armada of 800,000 impoverished Indians sailing to France. Dithering European politicians, bureaucrats, and religious leaders, including a liberal pope from Latin America, debate whether to let the ships land and accept the Indians or to do the right thing in the book's vision by recognizing the threat the immigrants pose and killing them all. The book thinks the right thing is to kill 800,000 immigrants to protect the white world. And they brag about it on TV. I'm not done. They explain poor black and brown people literally overrun Western civilization in the book. Once the Indians land in France, then Chinese people pour into Russia. The Queen of England is forced to marry her son to a Pakistani woman. The mayor of New York must house an African-American family at Gracie Mansion. Now, this was written in the mid-1970s. Now, part of the reason that the right wing is freaking out is we do have a liberal pope from Latin America. The Prince Harry in England is marrying a biracial woman. And hence the queen is forced to have at least someone of a different race in her house. And the mayor of New York does house an African-American family in Gracie Mansion, his own. So they're like, aha, we knew it. What did you know, you racists? That black people could live in Gracie Mansion? That a black woman could be married to the mayor of New York? Well, earlier we had a black mayor anyway. I know you despise that idea, but this is all of their horrific nightmares come true. Oh my God, the queen to be forced to have a Pakistani woman in her house, Chinese people in Russia. Oh, this is disgusting. We should have murdered them all. The hero of the book wanted to kill them all. He winds up killing a liberal. I'll get to that in a second. But here's a direct quote from the book about what was happening on the ship of immigrants. They say that they are sexual deviants. And the book writes, everywhere, rivers of sperm streaming over bodies, oozing between breasts and buttocks, and thighs and lips and fingers. So it's sick in 1,000 different ways. And finally, the main character, right before he kills the liberal who's in favor of immigrants, the hero of the book is a murderer who kills liberals who are in favor of immigrants. and they brag about it on Fox News. In a speech he gives to the liberal he's about to murder, he says, that scorn of a people for other races, the knowledge that one's own is best, the triumphant joy at feeling oneself to be part of humanity's finest. None of that had ever filled these youngsters' addled brains. Right there, literally saying white supremacy is great. And it's so sad that these addled brains of the liberals don't understand how supreme their own race is and how they should be proud to be above the other races. Well, that is the definition of white supremacy. And in case it wasn't clear enough, here's Mark Steyn on the same Tucker Carlson show back in January. Listen to what he says.
The white supremacists are American citizens. The illegal immigrants are people who shouldn't be here.
Let's also note for the record that Mark Steyn is an immigrant from Canada. All right, well, it is absolutely clear. Tucker Carlson heard that comment in January. Very happy to have him back on the program, where he then lauds the camp of the Steyns, a deeply racist book, proud to be racist. Breitbart has written many articles praising Camp of the Saints. So all these right-wing guys, these alt-right, the Mark Steyns, the Steve Bannons, the Tucker Carlsons, they are put away the dog whistle. They're now just flat out saying it. And you might not know Camp of the Saints. That's partly why I do this story for you guys, just to give you an understanding of what they're doing. But those guys in the right wing, they know it. So when Mark Steyn says on Fox News, Camp of the Saints is coming true, a lot of the people in the alt-right go, yes, the immigrants are coming in. In fact, Trump just warned about a caravan of immigrants coming into the country, kind of like an armada of immigrants coming into France. And where did he get that from? He got it from Fox News. And the Mark Steyns of the world and the Tucker Carlsons of the world are telling their fellow white supremacists it's time to act against those immigrants. And if the Camp of the Saints is their guidebook, whoa, watch out. They might be white supremacists, but they've got brown shirts. You just watched a video by the Young Turks, the home of the revolution. If you'd like to get the full show, come join us and become a member. tytnetwork.com/join.